Welcome to Onyx and Breezy's 13th annual gala. As the medical director for the foundation, it gives me great pleasure to say we've had another wonderful year. With your help, we've been able to help many more animals. We'd like to share with you a number of the wonderful success stories we've had this year. Pathway to Hope has been able to help animals in need from as far away as Egypt. This is the story of King Tut and a few other animals that Pathway to Hope has been able to help with the assistance of the Onyx and Breezy Foundation.
King Tut was definitely a first for us. He was actually in Egypt. The story was that he had been thrown out of his house because he had a broken leg and he had mange. And we knew that there he wasn't going to find a home. He wasn't going to get the help that he needed to fix his leg. So when he came over and actually saw our orthopedist, it turned out that it wasn't a broken leg. He actually had a luxated patella in his knee. And so the best option for that was amputation for his leg.
So I think King Tut is my 10th or 11th foster, and he's a special one. When he still had the leg, that he would hit it on something or kind of twist it, and he would kind of yelp, where it caused him a little bit of pain. So it really just was about getting it out of the way so he didn't have that pain.
The Onyx and Breezy Foundation heard his story. They reached out to us and said, if you need help with him, let us know. And we did. And they paid for the remainder of his surgery. He's doing great, as you can see, on 3-legged. He's got an amazing chance at a life now.
I mean, it's great to see him being able to be a dog now, He gets around better than some dogs that have 4 legs. I was just looking back at the pictures and the video of when he first came, and he looks just like a completely different dog. He looks so healthy now and happy, and it's just nice to see. He's gonna make a great pet for the right family.
Stardust we rescued about a month ago, and she was found on the side of the road. So she had 2 broken legs, one on the front and one on the back, and she needed immediate orthopedic surgery. She needed to get to the animal hospital to get the legs repaired. She had it done the next day. There was no delaying it because, otherwise their bones begin to heal, the surgery becomes more complicated. Most people that found a cat on the side of the road in that condition, they would have euthanized for sure. We're able to do this because of groups like Onyx and Breezy. She's been doing really good. She recovered. Her bones have, almost healed all the way. She's playful. She's fun. So Harrison was found on the streets of Passaic, a stray, and so we got him neutered. Thought it was going to be straightforward, and then all of a sudden he just stopped eating. It turned out that he had fluid in his lungs and in his abdomen. From what was a bite wound that had probably abscessed, and then it had healed, so there were no marks on the outside, but it ended up being, they call it a pyothorax, where he actually got a fluid and infection in his lungs, which is deadly. There's no what are you going to do? You have to move forward and try to help him. If you didn't help him, you would regret it. And so Harrison was definitely our most challenging case this year to fundraise for. I think we were close to $5,000 still in debt, and he was still in the hospital. And so I spoke with Jenny and I spoke with Wanda at Onyx and Breezy, and they said, we know this is a lot of money, but we know you're doing the best that you can and we want to help you. And they paid off his bill. And that was the difference between his life and not living. Harrison went from a cat that was in the hospital likely to die to being a cat that's healthy, happy, up for adoption, a little bit crazy. He's definitely gonna find his forever home. We take in a lot of special needs, and we got a call that a family was there with a puppy that was sick and tested positive for parvo, and they couldn't afford the treatment. So they were going to euthanize. If left untreated, a dog with parvo will pass away for sure, and it's not a nice death at all. It's, they struggle. So if treated and hospitalized, their chances of making it are so much better. There's a lot of groups that would shy away from parvo because of the intense cost of it. Sometimes they start to get better and then they get sick again, and that's actually what happened with her. She was in the hospital about 10 days. So what we thought was going to be a couple $1,000s worth of vet bills ended up being $10,000. A $10,000 vet bill is prohibitive for most animal rescues. They would have to euthanize. That's when you get like that feeling in the pit of your stomach, because it's just, how are we going to pay for $10,000? With the help of Onyx and Breezy Foundation, we're able to give Violet a second chance at life, and she's really thriving in her home.
I had her for about 2 weeks before, I said I wanted to adopt her because she's so sweet. She keeps us on our toes. She's crazy, the little girl, but we love her. I think it's amazing that the Onyx and Breezy Foundation is supporting Pathway, because if they weren't, we wouldn't have Violet. And it's wonderful that they're doing that.
Onyx and Breezy is great about kind of seeing how much money you can raise, and then sometimes they'll say, okay, well, we'll make up the difference. We believe that every animal should get a chance regardless of the cost, but we couldn't do it if we didn't have like amazing supporters like Onyx and Breezy. It's all volunteer. You know that the funding that they get is going to the right place. You know that it's going directly to the medical care and to saving animals, and truly to saving animals that wouldn't have a chance otherwise. We just wouldn't be able to do what we do without them, and I can't thank them enough for the support throughout the years.
The next story is about a dog named Max who got into a little trouble with the law. Board member David Freed happened to be the judge on the case, and when help was needed, the Onyx and Breezy Foundation stepped in.
Max is a 1-year-old pit bull that was accused of biting someone in the community here in Rockland County. I understand the love that an animal can bring to someone's family and to someone's household. And I think it's really important that we give back to them, and that's one of the reasons I serve on Onyx and Breezy, and that's another reason why when I deal with an animal case that I like to give it the extra time it deserves. Very often what the prosecutor is asking for is for the dog to either be controlled in some way. Sometimes they want the animal muzzled, and unfortunately very often there are applications to have the animal put to sleep in those very severe cases. Everything that was shown to me, that was shown to the court, suggested that there may have been some other issues at play. And my overarching concern was that this animal was really being neglected. So I picked up the phone and called Onyx and Breezy, and I knew that Onyx and Breezy would at least give the case the level of review and care that it deserved from the perspective of the animal. We were able to find a place for Max to go and live out his life. Didn't have to be euthanized. He's being trained, and he's happy, and he's healthy, and being cared for. If Onyx and Breezy hadn't stepped up, the animal would likely be dead. It makes me grateful to Onyx and Breezy for the level of attention and the depth of their hearts to care so much about an animal, which again is, some people might just cast it aside, but they made it the center of their universe. Money that they raise, it's being invested in actual lives, hearts that beat, lungs that breathe, and I don't know something more important than that. Onyx and Breezy was involved in every aspect. It was an Onyx and Breezy loyal supporter that even took Max up to its new home. There was a lot of love that day, and it was unquestionably a success.
People might think that the worst thing about the job is having an animal that's too sick or too injured to help. That's not the worst thing about the job. The worst thing about the job is having an animal that we can fix and the money isn't available. And an organization like Onyx and Breezy helps alleviate that pain. We are able to treat many of these animals that otherwise would not be able to get treatment. In many cases, some of these animals might be trauma cases that need immediate care, and getting an answer right away it makes a difference between an animal living and dying in many cases. Onyx and Breezy is run entirely by volunteers at every level. Again, 100% of your donation goes to help the animals. I really encourage everyone to make a donation to this wonderful organization which truly does make a difference in the lives of pets and their owners. Thank you to everyone who has donated and for your continued support. We can't do this without you and your contributions. Please give with your heart. Help every animal reach tomorrow and remember the joy they bring.
Remember the joy